Here with Kevin O'Leary. Kevin, thanks for a few minutes of your time. I really appreciate it. I know you met some gentlemen from North Dakota, and now you're pretty excited to go see what's there for BitZero. You've been doing a great job educating about the ESG, the SEC situation, so tell us what gets you excited about what the possibilities in North Dakota.
So, North Dakota has something really important. Hydroelectricity. And the reason that's so important is the entire world is moving towards a ESG mandate that even the SEC may mandate very quickly, if you read the memo. The BlackRock mandate, even POTUS in his executive order talked about sustainability and climate change. So for me to be a responsible investor, I want to be able to build data centers, specifically ones that sometimes mine Bitcoin, but other data centers too, that can be done with hydroelectricity or nuclear power. And North Dakota has an abundance of exactly what I need. They've got hydro, and so I can put my capital to work there. We can work with the community, we can build sustainable data centers. And I also have something else that I love about North Dakota. In Fargo, I have PRX, one of the most successful companies ever on Shark Tank. My deal. And we have done so well. I even went ice fishing there in February. Try doing that sometime.
Thank you for saying that. Peter Thiel just spoke, and he said some not so good things about ESG. I'm just curious, if we've got Senator Kevin Cramer on the banking committee, I mean, how can he play an important role? Because you talked about Senator Hagerty's bill last night. What can Senator Cramer do to help create the kind of regulations you want to see in Bitcoin and crypto?
You know, I think we should stop fooling ourselves with carbon offsets. That's just a joke. And we should just say, look, if we're trying to do better, we can't change everything overnight. The airline industry is never going to be carbon neutral, but we need it. There are certain states that require carbon in their economy, and we have to recognize that. But we can work together with public and private policies and find ways to actually bring in better power. And I'll give you an example. Across the United States, a lot of people don't know this, almost every dam built in the last 125 years contemplated hydro turbines, but they never got installed. Well, I'll install them. I have capital to put to work. That would give me power for more data centers. Data is the new oil. That's what it is. Every sector of the economy requires data centers. I don't care if you're an auto company or whether you're just mining consumer goods and services, you need data. So let's build the data centers of sustainable turbines. And if people need power in that community, I'll happily give them some. Let me invest. I will redeploy those dams along with other investors that think the same way I do. I don't want to get caught up in this big debate about ESG. Just tell me you want cleaner power and I'll invest in it. I'm an investor.
What do you say to Bitcoin naysayers?
You know, I was a Bitcoin naysayer. I've been there and I've seen that movie. But let me say this. Bitcoin is not a coin. It's simply software. Ethereum is software. Solana is software. All of these algorithms are software. So if you're willing to invest in Microsoft or Google, why wouldn't you invest in Bitcoin? It's just software. And to the extent that you believe it creates value, which I do, I'm going to invest in it. But I'm pragmatic about it. I've got a 5% weighting in Bitcoin. I've got 20% overall in my operating company in crypto overall. I've got 32 positions on it. So I'm diversified. I think crypto's here to stay. I think Bitcoin's here to stay. I think you're seeing all these politicians tell you that. Well, you have to decide how you're going to invest in it. But just remember, it's only software. That's it. Don't let it scare you. It's software.
Let's take a macro perspective, some geopolitics today. A Mexican senator said they're going to possibly look at making Bitcoin legal tender in Mexico, but also you see Saudi Arabia changing the way they might, exchange with China as far as the petrodollar. Where do you see inflation going and the U.S. dollar?
So I think we have inflation already. Generally speaking, if you look at inflation over the last 30 years, it's about 3 to 4% a year. The stock market gives you 7 to 8% a year. So you're probably better off in equities. The question is Bitcoin going to track equities or do better? So you really don't want to stay in just cash. That's a problem because you're being taxed at the inflation rate, which is now 6%. So that's one issue you got to deal with. And that's why I think there's a lot of excitement about these governments like Mexico. The most advanced right now in terms of this thinking is the United Arab Emirates out of Abu Dhabi. And so a lot of us as investors are traveling there to work with that government to kind of use it as a Switzerland of the region. You can deploy capital there, you can feel safe about it, but you can service the entire region around it, which is very interesting and has a good use case for crypto, as in South America. So you got to think global. That's how I'm thinking now about crypto, and I'm spending a lot of time talking to senators, talking to governments of other countries. I'm very excited about it, and I want to be an investor, but I want to be regulated and compliant. That's my message. I'm not interested in being a crypto cowboy.
I want to give you the last word. Anything else you want to share? And also, your CEO said that if he likes what he sees in North Dakota, there could be a $2 to $3 billion investment from your company in our state.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I bring a large amount of institutional investors beside me. I made a big investment in BitZero because I saw what they did in Norway, but I don't understand why we don't take the same facility we have in Norway and put it into North Dakota, put it into Montana, put it into upstate New York, put it into Tennessee Valley. These are all the places I'm talking to now. We've got them all, we've got the capital, and above all, we've got the semiconductors. Most miners today don't have access, but very fortunately, I'm working with investors that actually make the semiconductors. They're part of this equation, and I bring the machines with me to these sites. So I can deploy this site in North Dakota probably in about 4 months. So I'm ready to get up there, get a deal done. I'm working with the senator there. I'm very excited about it, and I think that's our next stop.
What's the biggest challenge you foresee in the crypto space?
The volatility, and we're going to continue with volatility until the institutions are allowed to buy it. So you're going to have massive fluctuations, but I'm okay. I'm willing to wait because I know the policy's coming.
Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Take care, everybody. I'll see you.